The River Trent Valley south of Burton-upon-Trent has made a big contribution to the region's need for sand and gravel. Given the extent of the workings to date and the need to continue, it's important that coordinated restoration contributes to the bigger picture in the area. Aggregate Industries has been particularly conscious of that imperative in planning a further phase of its Newbold quarry, which has been operating for more than 50 years. The new 160-hectare phase now getting underway will release around 13 million tonnes of aggregates, but it will also build on the progressive restoration that has already returned land to farming, woodland and wetland. The new phase will continue in the same vein and will involve importation of pulverised fuel ash as fill for some areas. The southeast corner will become semi-improved grassland and arable land, with hedgerows restored and extended. 5 new lakes will be created for amenity, recreation and nature conservation. While new planting will join up existing areas of woodland, a permissive footpath and bridleway will form a circular route covering both the new and existing site, and there will be a visitor centre and stables as a focus for long-term public enjoyment. But what's really significant here is the way in which this large site will contribute to the wider Central Rivers and Natural Forest initiatives that are between them revitalising the Trent Valley around Burton, Lichfield and Tamworth. Newbold Quarry will make a landscape scale and long-term contribution to a sustainable network of wildlife habitats, public amenities and agricultural land. After 26 years quarrying 7.5 million tonnes of sand and gravel from a large area, winning permission to extend this operation in Oxfordshire all the way to 2040 was always going to be a challenge. But the family business of Smith & Sons of Bletchington has achieved it and will follow extraction with a planned restoration that includes 61 hectares of reed beds and 66 hectares of other priority habitats. Amongst priority species, it's expected to attract a bittern, barn owl, water vole, bats and otter. The restored Gillmill quarry site near Witney will also facilitate a massive increase in public access to the beautiful countryside. And the plans even include lakeside eco-lodges to help fund the long-term biodiversity and benefit the local economy. They will in turn be powered by a renewable energy plant fed with biomass from the reed beds and woodland. The principle of continuing the quarry into the long term initially met with local concerns from the community in an area that has many other sites. Smiths ultimately won support on the strength of its track record of restoration at sites like this one within the current quarried area. It also listened and worked closely with the RSPB and other local conservation partners and adjusted its plans accordingly. Even so, concerns over bird strike at Britain's biggest operational military airfield at nearby Brize Norton could have been a potential deal-breaker. That was overcome by adjustments to the planned habitats to discourage species likely to cause a hazard and by committing to a long-term bird management plan. Once complete, the restoration at Gillmill will deliver one of the largest connected priority wildlife habitats, and specifically one of the largest reed beds in southern England. Smith's planning and estates manager Martin Layer is excited by the prospect.
Excited? Well, in my mind, this is an absolute win-win. We here at Gillmill, we're maintaining a continuity of supply of sand and gravel, these essential construction materials, into the local Oxfordshire economy. We're securing 40 jobs on the site, together with perhaps the whole of the Smiths family company within the county. And really importantly, we are creating here, as a consequence of mineral working, very special priority habitat. Bigger, better, more connected, a 61-hectare reed bed, which really, what isn't there to be excited about? It's a fantastic opportunity.
Brett Aggregates has a major marine aggregate wharf and processing operation on the banks of the Thames at Cliff in Kent. But the company's landholding also includes some large and very deep lakes formed by extraction of chalk and clay many years ago. 2 of those lakes, Alpha Lake and Chalk Lake, are now the focus for a project that aims to greatly enhance their wildlife potential by creating new habitats through making them a great deal shallower and creating scrapes and islands. And in doing so, the project will help to solve one of London's greatest challenges of the moment by using spoil from the major construction projects as the fill medium. And what's more, the fact that Cliff can receive such material by both river and rail means the whole process can be done sustainably without putting any extra lorries onto the roads. Brett is working closely with the RSPB, which manages the neighbouring Cliff Pools Reserve, and has advised on the design and supported the proposal. Species that will benefit range from wading birds like avocet, redshank and black-tailed godwit, breeding terns and the declining water vole.
Although we have quite a large area of water bodies, they're not in the best condition and they are not reaching the potential of their as they are of a habitat. Therefore, by shallowing them, we start to achieve the potential, and the potential is massive.
For its part, Brett Aggregates believes the project represents a win-win opportunity for both business and nature.
When you look at the major construction projects in London, they're generating an increasing amount of excavation materials, of spoil. That material has to go somewhere and has to be handled as sustainably as possible. Cliff is a good solution because rather than sending the material to landfill, Cliff offers an opportunity for the material to be beneficially reused to create a biodiversity habitat. Cliff is also able to take the material in a sustainable transport manner by receiving the material by river or by rail.
The planned restoration of Ripon City Quarry is a perfect example of a mineral products operation that delivers real value to society that goes beyond the jobs and products that it provides in its given area. And what's more, its owner Aggregate Industries has actually been able to quantify that benefit. The company used the process of ecosystem services valuation to demonstrate that over 50 years, the site's restored wetland would deliver net benefits to the community of some 1.1 million. The benefits of biodiversity, recreation and increased flood storage far outweighed the alternative benefits from agriculture. The quarry goes all the way back to the 1950s. Progressive restoration of the area work to date has resulted in the development of a superb reedbed habitat. It was in 2009 that the company sought permission for a further extension involving additional reedbeds plus open water.
We were set a major challenge here by North Yorkshire County Council in that the normal period of aftercare for quarries is 5 years. North Yorkshire County Council here said, well, 5 years, it's not enough. It needs to be 50 years and it needs to be undertaken with partnership with the Wildlife Trust. And we were set that task. We met with the Chief Executive of the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, Rob Stoneman, who backed and supported the creation of the new nature reserve. And what you can now see developing is thanks to that partnership with the Wildlife Trust.
In wildlife terms, the site has great potential for birds, bats, otters, and it also has the potential to attract the bittern back to this particular part of Yorkshire. But there will also be householders over a wide area who will sleep a little easier in their beds at night because of the substantial additional flood storage capacity provided by these wetlands. The project has also been a useful test for ecosystem analysis.
For the future, it tells us that there is a benefit in looking to extract minerals and restore to uses which are going to provide society with a net benefit. And that analysis can help to develop restoration schemes.